So I just watched Dog Man, written and directed by Peter Hastings. Before I give my thoughts on this film, I thought I would give my quick thoughts on Captain Underpants, a the series that this is originally from. I actually grew up reading Captain Underpants books, and I remember liking them as a kid. And when I went to go see the film in 2017, I liked it. It's not great, but it is probably the best case scenario for an adaptation of Captain Underpants you could ask for. And so going into Dogman, I had never actually read the Dogman books, but I thought that this could still be good. A, because it is still based on a Dave Pilkey series, so I thought the movie could have a similar tone to the Captain Underpants movie. And B, just the more people started sharing these insane, out of context parts of the books on Twitter, the more excited I got for the film. Like, what am I about to get? And so when I finally sat down and watched the film, I had a great time. I really had fun with this. It's very similar to Captain Underpants, where I think this is probably the best case scenario for a Dogman adaptation we could ask for. I thought that the movie was well written. It really does feel like it was written by kids for kids, which is a good thing for this franchise. It was consistently funny. I cared about the characters and their relationships. I thought the characters were mostly well written. Dogman himself was great. He's a great silent protagonist. You can always tell what he's thinking just by watching him or like by the noises that he makes, like the dog noises. Petey is a great villain. I thought that they did a good job balancing between him being like entertaining and over the top evil and also being a very sympathetic character. Lil Petey, he was just adorable. There's not much more to say about that. Just loved seeing him. The Chief, I thought they did a good job balancing with him being like the sort of gruff, like over the top stereotype of the police chief and also him being like a caring authority figure for Dogman. I liked Sarah Hadoff. She was a likable character and a good friend to Dogman, which was nice. Pretty much the only character that I thought was kind of uninteresting was Flippy the Fish. Like he kind of just felt like a standard like villain, kind of like the sort of typical antagonist you would see in this type of film. The performances overall I thought were good. Particular standouts were surprisingly to me Pete Davidson and Lil Rel Howery. Like it's not that I don't like these actors, it's just in the past I had never done anything that really blew me away and made me think they could like give some great performance. And this movie proved me wrong because they were both great in this. Uh, I think that like one more thing I want to say about the writing is that it was delightfully childish, if that makes sense. Like this is going to be a slight spoiler, but I liked that the main thing that started to kick off Petey's arc of starting to like Lil Petey was that he only wanted him back because he didn't like the fact that Dogman was bonding with him and he didn't want Dogman to have anything good. So I like that his motivation for that like stemmed from him just trying to take something from Dogman. That was like the kind of delightfully childish writing, like little details like that, I really liked. This movie was very fast paced, which I think works well for this type of film. The tone it was going for, like I like that they pretty much jump into the creation of Dogman very quickly. Like there's not a lot of backstory, pretty much just the bare minimum you need to understand where Dogman came from, which I liked. Like you don't really need a ton for a big over the top film like this. The animation was great, like all the character designs and all the backgrounds and the colors really looked like they were pulled right out of a kid's book. There were a lot of fun, over the top action sequences in this. A lot of well edited montages that did a good job of squeezing in as many jokes as they could. There was a very energetic score by Tom Howe, which I actually, there were a couple of moments where I found the score to be a bit reminiscent of the Incredibles score. Not to say that's a bad thing, but just wanted to point that out. Really, my only major complaint is that there were some jokes that I didn't think were funny. Like there were some running gags that they kind of drove into the ground a bit, and there were some like kind of cringy modern references. Like some characters did TikTok dances in the film, and there was some like movie references that I thought were kind of unneeded, like Die Hard and such. I kind of wish some characters that I know are in the book were in the movie. Like Petey's mom does not appear. I kind of wish she showed up in the film. And I think that they should have made it clearer in the film that Dogman is like a character created by George and Harold from Captain Underpants. Like, I'm not saying you needed a whole scene of them explaining that, but like maybe a Treehouse Comics Inc. logo at the beginning of the film would have been enough. But I still like that there were a couple of like little references to George and Harold in the film. That was kind of nice. Overall, this was a very fun movie. I think that you do have to kind of be in a certain mood to enjoy it. Like, you have to be in the mood for something immature, but still a bit smart, and also be okay with a film that has a very breakneck pace. But that's what I wanted out of this film, and I was happy with what I got. I'm going to give Dogman a B plus. And the note I will leave you on is that I was not expecting Dogman to feature a Miley Cyrus song. And that's all I'll say. You're going to have to watch the film to know the context of that. So those are my thoughts on Dogman. If you've seen the film, be sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to see more reviews like this in the future. And on that note, I will see you next time. Have a great day.